Good evening, and welcome back to the Shadow Gallery. I'm your host, James Donnelly, and tonight I will be talking about the Cape. As, I don't know, probably a couple dozen people probably saw it tonight. Who knows? Probably a lot of people in the comics business. I saw that Dan Slott was tweeting about it. Dan Slott is the current writer on Amazing Spider-Man. And he pretty much sums up what I feel about it. Now, again, as I've said before, I'm a sucker for pretty much anything that's genre television. And, superheroes, even better. So when we get a new show or, just anything new that's like this, I tend to, at least check it out because it's part of the geek street cred. You gotta get with it. Now, I remember when Heroes premiered. I mean, I didn't get into the season until after the first season was over, and then I got the first disc from Netflix of season one. And as soon as that disc was over, I went out that same night to the latest place that was open that I could find, and bought the entire first season because it was that good. Heroes season one is probably the best. It's probably the best live action superhero show that I think they've ever made. And unfortunately, they didn't stop at season one, which is exactly where they should have stopped. But they didn't, lo and behold. So we got season 1.5 or whatever people want to call it because of the writer's strike, and then season 3 and season 4, which I didn't even watch one single episode of because I just got so fucking sick of it. It just became just too much. It's too cribbed from every other comic book that had ever existed. So anyway, but then there have been some other promising shows that have been on the tube. Sci-fi, I think early 2010. I don't know if it was the summer or before that, but anyway, they did a reboot of The Phantom, which I liked. I liked the movie. The Billy Zane, Christy Swanson, Treat Williams film, which was bad, but it's a good kind of bad. It's fun. It's entertaining. I can't say that it was bad really. I mean, it's fun. It's entertaining. My favorite moment of the whole damn film is when he's running through where he's chasing the bad guys through a concourse, and he nudges a lady. She drops her glove, and he bends over to pick it up, and then continue his chase. I mean, that was just great, kind of sticky fun there. But they did a reboot, which, in my opinion, probably, since Heroes has been the best superhero thing that I've seen on, live action superhero thing that I've seen on TV. Then, just this fall season, we were introduced to No Ordinary Family, which started out promising, but then just got too mired down in, just the dynamics of it, and it just got boring. So I tuned out of that. But now we have the Cape, which honestly looked kind of dumb when I first saw the previews for it, and then it's like, but still, I'm a sucker for it. I'm a sucker for the genre, so I had to check it out. And I did watch it, and it's not good. It's maybe if at best a 4.5 out of 10 as far as the score is concerned. 10 being the highest, of course. Because it does have some entertaining moments. There were moments that I was intrigued. But if you saw it, Probably a lot of you feel the same thing that I do. They do the origin way, way too fast. I mean, it's like, 30 minutes into the show, and he's already in the costume, ready to go fight crime. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, are you kidding me with this shit? But I continued to watch, in the hopes that it would get better, and there were some moments that were better. The special effects are not very impressive. Here's my problem. My main problem with it, not just that they totally bypass what should be a great hero origin story, or at least a good one, because they had potential here. They had potential to do something really strong, and they wimped out, and they said, well, you know what, we're going to just make this really fast. I mean, the directors of this 2-hour pilot, the first hour was Simon West, who brought us Con Air. Okay, so you're not... Right there, I should have known, okay, well, this is not going to be subtle. Okay, this is going to be, like, no brains, all brawn, fast, 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 fast. And then the second half, which was the better half, was directed by Darren Sarafian, whose name you probably don't know. He directed Terminal Velocity, is the only real feature film that he did, at least to my knowledge. And he's directed a lot of TV since then. And he's directed, I think, like 20... when I was looking up on IMDb, he directed like 20 episodes of House. He's directed genre TV, from here to there. He did one episode of Buffy. His name is kind of peppered here and there out of genre TV. But the most stuff that he's actually done for TV has been from House. So, I mean, he knows how to work with a cast. And he knows how to work with with a decent script and kind of leave the players into it on the strength of their... Now, that's where some of the strengths lies. I actually, the Vince Faraday, the guy who plays him, I don't even know his name, for Christ's sake. He doesn't really care, but he was pretty good. I liked him, Summer Glau, of course, instant, I think, gives this show kind of instant geek credibility, as it did to the Sarah Connor Chronicles, because, Summer, she was in one episode of Angel, and then she was, of course, in every episode of Firefly, and of course, was kind of the focus, if you will, of the Serenity film. Her character was, anyway. And, she's this, it's very rare that you ever get to see her play kind of the damsel in distress character, which she does play at least at one point in this show. And I was kind of a little disappointed in that, but she's only human in this one. She's not kind of psychic, or she's not a cyborg. So there's that. Anyway, Keith David, who is always entertaining, he was a lot of fun to watch. The rest of the cast, pretty much, a dime a dozen. Who cares? The son, the wife, the nemesis, Peter Fleming, Vinnie Jones, who plays Scales, because he's got a scaled face or whatever. It's just, it's an interesting kind of funky comic booky type of character, but ultimately it doesn't really do the show any good. Because he's just a gangster, some of the effects with the cape, pretty impressive, but ultimately what makes a good superhero is the story. It's not how cool he looks and what he does. It's how good they could have made this and just almost totally fucked it up. And for that, I will give it 2 more episodes maximum. If they don't have me convinced by then, dropping it like a hot potato. So that's my review of The Cape. Next installment, I promise you, we're going to do last week's new comics. Okay? We might even do it tonight. So this was the review of The Cape. Next segment, which will probably be in about 30 seconds on your end, and probably about 30 minutes on mine, will be on last week's comics. So we'll see you soon. don't touch that dial.